Chapter 209. Tough Turtle Shell. Heavenly Tao Sect, Kang Tian. With a soft shout, Kang Tian's figure did not stop and continued to rush towards blood slaughter, his terrifying fist power climbing to the peak. Heavenly Tao Sect. A stern light erupted in Bloodslayer's eyes at the words, as he similarly rushed towards Kang Tian, the long blood-colored blade in his hand, slashing out countless icy slashes that shattered the void. The Heavenly Tao Sect was the #1 sect in the righteous path, and the Devil Sect was the #1 sect in the Devil path. The two of them were truly born enemies. Even if they wouldn't meet each other in the spirit sealing space, there would definitely be a battle in the future in the battlefield of righteousness and devils. A strong person from the Heavenly Tao Sect. No wonder it's so powerful. I'll remember you, Kang Tian. Bloodslayer laughed morosely as the cultivating hell behind him unfolded, completely engulfing the Kang Heaven. The ancient city was in chaos. Everywhere were the figures of the trialists fighting with each other. Among them, it was the five-headed Xuanwu descendants, Brahma Heart, Kang Tian, and the four directions of Bloodslayer that had the most intense battle. And it was also the battle that was also the most noticeable. After performing the Heavenly Demon Unraveling technique, Bloodslayer's physical body broke through the Imperial level, giving rise to a vision as he transformed into a world of cultivation, completely engulfing Kang Tian, and the crowd watching the battle were all horrified. Legend has it that ancient cultivators were divided into two types, Qi practitioners and body refiners. The former only cultivated the Yuan Shen Dao fruit, and the latter only refined the physical body. But the two cultivation methods ultimately share the same path, and in the end, they are all capable of manifesting divine abilities. Bloodslayer's physical body has now broken through to the Imperial level, and has already displayed visions, not far from comprehending divine aptitude. In the middle of the spirit sealing space, a strong person who is able to comprehend a fleshly divine aptitude is already invincible, and to go one step further is to shatter the vacuum. Looking at the powerful Bloodslayer, a murmur came from the crowd watching the battle. Everyone was incomparably shocked. Within the spirit sealing space, there were very few whose physical bodies reached the king level, already considered to be a party of experts, and even fewer who reached the emperor level. Each one of them was a supreme powerhouse that swept through a city. It was said that even within the second city in the spirit sealing space, the city of Earth, there were only 2 or 3 emperor rank powerhouses. What a bizarre power. Is this the vision derived from a fleshly body reaching the emperor level? Being sucked into the cultivation world, Kang Tian swept his surroundings in some astonishment. It was a dead world. Everywhere were ghastly white bones. Occasionally, there were stern ghosts hissing, causing chills to grow behind one's back. However, Kang Tian was fearless. His physical body exuded a faint purple glow, dispelling the darkness around him. He just stood amidst a pile of white bones, proudly surrounding himself. The hegemony fist had stopped, but the invincible, overbearing intent still erupted from within him. Like an emperor overlooking the world and looking out of the stars. In the outside world, Kang Tian and Bloodslayer were both shrouded in a blood-red smoke at the moment, making it impossible for people to see the scene clearly, and only the hissing roars of the severe ghosts kept coming from mid-air. Come out. Stalling like this won't do you any good. I'd like to see how much essence blood you have to burn, Kang Tian said in a cold voice. Although he couldn't spot Bloodslayer's figure in the cultivation world, he wasn't in a hurry, because the Heavenly Demon Unraveling technique also had a time limit. And once Bloodslayer's essence blood burned out, even if he didn't make a move, Bloodslayer would automatically go up in smoke. Right now, the one who was most anxious should be Bloodslaughter. GG, since you are so eager to find death, then I will fulfill you. Bloodslayer's voice came steeply from the sky, and in the next moment, countless stern ghosts and spirits hissed and swooped towards Kang Tian with open teeth and claws. This was not a divine ability. It was somewhat like a spell attack. It was just that within this spirit-sealing space, being able to perform such an attack was already non-trivial. After all, Kang Chon could only use his fleshly body power right now, or else he would have been able to destroy Bloodslaughter with a single heaven-escaping hand. An imperial-level fleshly body is truly not to be underestimated. Kang Chon's eyes narrowed, and a cold light appeared in the slits of his eyes as he punched out. His domineering aura was unrivaled, and the world-despising fist power enveloped the space, blasting the severe ghosts and spirits that pounced over one by one. At this moment, he was like a purple sun, but all the severe ghosts and spirits that came over were like moths to a flame. All of them flew to ashes. This kind of attack is useless to me. You'd better come to something practical. If you waste any more time, you'll run out of essence and blood without me having to do anything. Kang Chon laughed coldly. The might of the Overlord Fist enveloped the entire space. Purple fist shadows were everywhere. Both the sky and the earth trembled. That overbearing fist intent was like the sun in winter, melting countless snow and ice, and the dazzling light was unstoppable. Bloodslayer's face was incomparably ugly. He did not expect Kang Chon's strength to be so strong, that it was even comparable to an imperial-level flesh body. What kind of powerful talent was this? I'm afraid that those 5 Xuanwu descendants were inferior. I admit that I underestimated you, but no matter how heavenly your strength is, today you will die. Blood-killing eyes ******** crazy killing intent, whether it is for revenge, or for the future of the Devil Clan, to reduce a strong enemy, he will die with Kang Chon today. Powerful mouth doesn't mean powerful strength. You'd better take some actual action out. Kang Chon laughed coldly. Only his eyes were full of vigilance. After all, Bloodslaughter had reached the imperial level at this moment. It was hard to guarantee that he didn't have any powerful abilities. It was better to be cautious. From the Great Tang Country to the Heavenly Dao sect, he had gone through countless trials. Nowadays he was long since not the same little white guy who had just stepped into the cultivation world. As long as it was an enemy, he would not underestimate it. HMPH. Facing Kang Chon's mockery, Bloodslayer snorted coldly, as if he was preparing something, but did not reveal his figure. Kang Chon had some doubts in his heart. What was Bloodslayer doing? Didn't he know that the longer the time dragged on, the more unfavorable it would be for himself? Although his heart was puzzled, his stern eyes were cautiously scanning the surroundings. He did not move like a mountain, waiting for Bloodshed's attack. Boom! Suddenly a shocking thunder rang out. The entire cultivation world was like an earthquake. The sky began to shatter. The earth began to crumble. It was as if this world had come to an end, and was going to be completely destroyed. Kang Chon's heart steeply rose a huge crisis. His stern eyes shot out a bright light. The whole person rushed up to the sky, like a purple god of war, standing proudly in the void. Rumble! The Shura world was trembling violently, and collapse filled the entire space, with chaos everywhere. Kang Chon, this is the ultimate strike after my collapsing vision. Your fleshly body cannot withstand it without reaching the Emperor level. Tremble, your life is about to end. Bloodslayer's frantic voice came from the void, and the entire sky roared and shook as the scene of doom was revealed. Kang Chon's strength was beyond his expectations. He had no absolute certainty of defeating Kang Chon, and could only use this method of dying together. At this moment, Bloodslayer had already burned all of his essence blood, and he gathered all of his power together, fusing it into his physical body's vision. And then, like a torrent, it came rushing towards Kang Chon. It was an attack that could not be described in words, that devastating power that destroyed the entire heaven and earth. Roar! There is no hesitation in Kang Chon's eyes, directly displaying the strongest battle state of Kang Chon hegemony blood. A head of long, dark purple hair rising with the wind, coupled with his purple robes, causing him to look as if he was a purple god of war. In mid-air, the blood-colored world collapsed, and the crowd watching the battle all saw this shocking scene. Kang Chon, who was covered in purple light, rose up to the sky, and his eyes shot out a fiery light, like to shooting stars breaking through the sky, leaving a beautiful arc in the sky. Blood Killing's entire person transformed into a burst of blood mist, forming a blood-colored flood in mid-air, and the powerful force stirred up a shocking heaven and earth blood wolf, sweeping through the entire space. The crowd was very shocked to see this scene. Undoubtedly, Blood Slayer would not be able to live even if he won this time. Overlord Fist. Kang Chon yelled up to the sky, his purple eyes ****** radiant. He swung his fist out, and a purple shadow rushed out behind him, standing on top of the sky, swallowing mountains and rivers. The appearance of this shadow is very similar to Kang Chon, only the whole body is purple. The invincible, overbearing aura shakes the sky and shakes the earth, and everyone looks dumbfounded. Anomaly, his fleshly body has reached the imperial level. The crowd watching the battle was stunned. They hadn't thought that Kang Chon's fleshly body had already reached the imperial level long ago. In fact, they had all guessed wrong. Kang Chon's physical body was still at the king level. It was just that, after catalyzing the Kang Chon hegemony blood, the powerful innate power had allowed him to break the limit of the peak of the king level and temporarily enter the emperor level. Of course, the others didn't know that Kang Chon possessed a special bloodline, and only thought that Kang Chon's physical body had reached the emperor level, which was why such a vision was formed. In mid-air, Bloodslayer's face was very ugly. He also did not think that Kang Chon had reached the emperor level. No wonder he was not an opponent. It turned out that he was not able to compare to Kang Chon since the beginning. However, after the collapse of the vision, he could no longer stop. At this time, he could only kill Kang Chon in one go, wanting to pull him on his back before he died. Facing the blood-colored torrent that came rushing in from Blood Killing, Kang Chon's expression was cold. His eyes were incomparably bright, like to purple suns, emitting an undying light. Behind him, the purple shadow shook the heavens and earth with an unrivaled aura, and the majestic battle intent, which broke the heavens and shattered the void, like a supreme god of war. The crowd that saw this scene was very shocked. The visions derived from a physical body. Reaching the imperial level varied, but they were all based on each person's state of mind. Now, Kang Chon's vision was of himself, which showed that he was incomparably confident in his heart, believing that there was no one who was invincible, a belief that he was the only one who could be respected. Not only is this person's physical body powerful, his talent is also extraordinary. Just based on this belief of only I am the only one, he is bound to achieve extraordinary things in the future. An old native cultivator watched the Kang Chon in mid-air and said with some surprise, "There is no invincibility for me. Only I am the only one." Since ancient times, there were very few people who could possess such a belief, and that was a supreme belief derived only from cultivators at the peak of their strength. In the younger generation, very few people possessed such an aura, and even if they did, they were some invincible geniuses. Undoubtedly, these people saw an invincible domineering aura from Kang Chon's body. Kang Chon, even if I lose today, in the coming days, the strongest members of my demon sect will definitely avenge my death. Just wait. Blood Slaughter roared. In mid-air, Kang Chon's expression was cold. The purple shadow behind him rushed up into the sky, transforming into a dazzling divine light to meet the blood-colored torrent brought by Bloodslayer. As the two powerful forces collided in the sky, erupting into a blazing light, everyone stared tightly at this scene. Boom! A terrifying sound shook the heavens and moved the earth as a purple figure rushed out. He yelled up to the sky, his body exuding a powerful force of unrivaled might. The people watching the battle were all silent. Blood Slaughter had ultimately lost. Using the heavenly demon unraveling technique to forcefully raise his physical body to the imperial level, he still couldn't stand up to a true imperial level physical body. Kang Chon stood on top of a rooftop, cold light flashing in his eyes, as he looked disdainfully in all directions. However, all the figures that he swept into view, one by one, trembled and retreated. Everyone felt a hegemonic aura of soul dominance rise from Kang Chon at this moment. What is hegemony? At this moment, Kang Chon was the hegemony. He was like a god of war, standing proudly on the rooftop, looking out of the corner of his eye. Everyone was shocked. Bloodshed lost. A half-foot into the royal level of the strong man lost. Lost very completely. Even to Kang Chon caused serious injuries to the strength.